Welcome, fellow seekers of truth, as we uncover the final mysteries of our timeline today. People always tell you that no one can ever know the exact day or the final hour. But what if I told you that Jesus Christ himself gave us the truly exact generation? If you know how to solve a very simple mathematical equation straight from the Holy Bible, you will quickly realize that our prophetic clock has already struck its final terrifying ticks. For centuries, scholars have desperately tried to decode the hidden timeline of the apocalypse. They obsess over cryptic signs and complex calendars while completely ignoring the obvious clue. According to historical records, the key is hidden in plain sight within the Gospel of Matthew. We must step inside the ultimate prophetic war room to examine the ancient evidence closely. Look closely at this tactical sand table displaying the turbulent history of the Middle East. Every single piece on this board is moving exactly according to a predetermined divine script. But one specific entity holds the absolute power to start the final countdown of humanity. Many believe human destiny is shaped by random political events and unpredictable chaotic wars. However, the scriptures firmly declare that God has mathematically ordained the end from the beginning. We are not aimlessly drifting through time, but marching rapidly toward a highly specific deadline. Are you brave enough to open this ancient dossier and face the terrifying truth of our time? The investigation requires us to travel backward across 20 centuries of blood-soaked history. Let us return to the very moment when the most important prophetic discourse was first delivered. The year is 33 AD, and the setting is the summit of the legendary Mount of Olives. Jesus Christ sits quietly, gazing down at the magnificent and glorious Second Temple of Jerusalem. His disciples approach him privately, their hearts heavy with deep anxiety and profound spiritual fear. They desperately asked him about the sign of his coming and the ultimate end of the entire age. Peter leans forward with a wrinkled brow, terrified by the doom of their holy city. John sits in deep contemplation, his eyes reflecting the golden sunset as he awaits the divine answer. According to ancient manuscripts, Jesus does not give them a specific calendar date or a year. Instead, he points his hand toward a barren, withered fig tree standing alone in the desolate landscape. In biblical symbolism, the fig tree perfectly represents the chosen nation of Israel. The tree currently appears completely dead, its dry branches reaching into the dark and dramatic sky. This perfectly prophesied the tragic exile of the Jewish people, wandering the earth for 2 millennia. But Jesus issues a chilling command by saying, "Now, learn this essential lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near." Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the very doors. He then utters the most mathematically precise prophecy recorded in the history of the world. Truly, I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. This single sentence is the absolute master key that unlocks the terrifying mystery of the end times. The generation that witnesses the dead fig tree coming back to life will see the final apocalypse. For nearly 2,000 years, theologians wondered if Israel would ever exist on the map again. The tree remained a lifeless stump, buried deeply under the ashes of countless brutal earthly empires. Many scholars concluded the fig tree prophecy was merely a spiritual allegory for the Christian church. But God does not speak in meaningless riddles when warning humanity about the final global judgment. The ancient clock was waiting for a highly specific geopolitical earthquake to restart its ticking. Fast forward to the 20th century, emerging from the dark ashes of the Second World War. On May 14, 1948, an unprecedented miracle shocked the whole international world. Against all odds, the State of Israel was officially reborn from the bloody ashes of human history. Sweaty journalists in Tel Aviv frantically waved newspapers displaying the bold historical headline. The streets completely erupted as Jewish crowds wept uncontrollably with tears of overwhelming relief. Exhausted soldiers gripped their rifles, looking up at the hopeful sky with fierce determination and pride. According to ancient prophecy, the impossible had just happened before the eyes of the whole world. The withered fig tree had suddenly sprouted a vibrant, glowing green shoot from its dry, cracked bark. Jesus said, "The generation that sees this exact event will not pass away before the end of the world." This brings us to the ultimate question. How long is a biblical generation in the scriptures? To solve this theological true crime, we must open the book of Psalms to find the exact answer. Psalm 90, verse 10, gives us the precise mathematical formula to calculate the final deadline. Our days may come to 70 years, or 80 years if our strength endures, declares the ancient text. A standard biblical generation is explicitly defined as 70 to 80 years of human life. Now, we must perform the most chilling mathematical equation ever recorded in the history of theology. Take the historic year that the fig tree miraculously sprouted its lively leaves, 1948. Add the biblical lifespan of 80 years to that exact date and prepare yourself for the truth. 1948 plus 80 brings us directly to the year 2028, happening very soon. We are currently standing on the razor-thin, bleeding edge of the final moments of human history. The people born when Israel was re-established are now entering their late 70s and early 80s. Their generation is rapidly passing away, meaning the prophetic clock is running out of precious sand. The geopolitical chessboard in the Middle East is perfectly aligned for the final great global conflict. Nations are aggressively positioning themselves precisely as the ancient Hebrew prophets warned long ago. Wars and rumors of wars are constantly echoing across the globe, fulfilling the very words of Christ. The mathematical precision of this biblical timeline leaves absolutely no room for comfortable denial. We are not waiting for the fig tree to bloom. It has already grown into a massive, looming presence. Its heavy green leaves are casting an ominous shadow over the tactical sand table of the modern world. The roots have wrapped around the map, declaring that the time of grace is ending very soon today. Many modern scholars firmly agree that we are witnessing the direct fulfillment of Matthew 24. You are not living in this specific era by some random cosmic accident or mere biological chance. You were intentionally chosen by God to be born into the exact timeline of the fig tree generation. Time is no longer measured in distant centuries or decades, but rather in fleeting years and months. The hourglass is almost completely empty, and the sand slips through our desperate fingers today. You must be spiritually prepared for the catastrophic events that will unfold when this clock finally stops. The signs are glaringly obvious to anyone who has the spiritual eyes to look past the mainstream news. The rebirth of Israel was the starting gun, and humanity is now sprinting toward the finish line. Do not let the comforts of modern society blind you to the approaching storm of divine judgment. Every earthquake, every famine, and every global crisis is another birth pain of the coming kingdom. The master matrix of biblical prophecy is decoding itself in real time before our astonished eyes. We must wake up from our spiritual slumber and recognize the severe urgency of this prophetic countdown. The king is standing at the door, and his hand is already reaching to turn the heavy iron handle. The fig tree generation is the final bridge between the age of grace and the coming day of reckoning. We are the ultimate eyewitnesses to the greatest and most terrifying transition in human history. Let the ancient words of Jesus Christ pierce through the noise and deeply convict your precious soul today. The heavens and the earth will pass away, but his prophetic words will never, ever pass away. The final bell is ringing, and the curtain is closing on the grand theater of our mortal existence. When this prophetic clock finally reaches zero, the last 42 months of human history will begin. Do you believe we are living in this final generation? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Please remember to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more truth.